Welcome back to Giant Monster Games. My name is Adrian, and today we are going to go over Episode 0, or the prologue, of the new modded Minecraft? No, Modded RimWorld series called Steen and Pina. Before I actually get started though, if you are interested in the nitty-gritty, all the little tiny things, like what setting am I doing here and what all the mods are, that's what this video is. So feel free to jump to that other video and start watching the actual series, or if you want to hang out here for an hour and watch all of the nitty-gritty, that's the way we're going to do. To start out with, let's introduce our two colonists. First, we have Steen, the 26-year-old male Neanderthal. Yes, we are playing with the DLC, if that wasn't clear in the title. He is good at cooking, okay with animals, and he has a prosthetic leg, so he does have a small handicap there. Couldn't have perfect people, if you know what I mean. I have a male and female, if you haven't seen this already, strictly because I hope to make babies in this series at some point. Our second colonist and potential mother of our future childrens is Pina, the 28-year-old impid who is good at shooting and crafting. She's okay at medical as well. She does have the ability to spew fire, or fire spew is the actual technical name for it, so we will be using that hopefully at some point as a defensive mechanism because we have zero stuff. We have no weapons, we have no armor, we have no clothes, because that's the way Naked Brutality works. If you haven't gathered already, this is essentially Naked Brutality except with two colonists. That's literally the only difference here. Oh, also we have no research at all, so we have nothing. We literally start with literally nothing. For the actual game itself, I'm just gonna go through new quality. So my thing, I call it Adam and Eve. So it has Adam and Eve, you're naked alone. You have two survivors so two people choosing from 10, even though I didn't use any of the 10. They are guaranteed to be naked, and they are guaranteed to be between 25 and 29. I wanted two younger people, that's why I did this. As far as the difficulty level here, we are doing Randy, but we are doing a custom setup. So we are playing Reload Anytime, and we're doing custom. With the custom one, we are going off of Blood and Dust. The only difference is I changed this from a -5 penalty to 0, just because I don't hate myself that much. And then I changed both the colonist insta-kill and the raid enemy drop death to 20%. Mostly because I want people to be able to survive, otherwise it just kind of becomes kind of boring. And then the only other thing I changed is I said that children can be raiders, because we're playing with the children mods. For the world, we are playing Fire Truck. There we go. And we have 50% world cover if you wanted to play literally the exact same map. And then population is slightly crowded. I didn't change anything else. I left all of this stuff. This is again from the DLC. So yeah, we're going to generate the map. So this is the actual world we are playing in, and we are playing way up here. We're in a large hills biome, but this is the map. Yeah, and then the only other change is I have a larger medium map. The reason why I'm here is because I wanted to be in a boreal forest, farther north, so you have less growing days. So we're going to look over the mods that we have in the mod series. I'm just going to run down every single mod on the actual list. Some of them I'm going to go over really quick, some of them I am not, because there is a lot. So if you want to follow along, this is how it is. So Harmony is a mod that allows other mods to work together. Core, Royalty, Ideology, and Biotech are all like DLCs. Vanilla Expanded Framework, this allows for the Vanilla Expanded series to play together, so this needs that. Hugslib is it's a framework for other mods, so it doesn't do anything by itself, it uses other mods. Jegs Tools is the exact same thing. Trubla Rusa, exact same thing. Biomes Core, again, is a framework for the world generation, so it adds biomes and others. Processor Framework, same thing. First one that actually does stuff, correct this time, is Arc Tug. It allows you to grab all your pawns and move them all so they all move in a line and stuff like that. It's a combat enhancement tool. Camera Plus, this is one that allows you to zoom way in, so you can zoom very close into characters or zoom way far out. The Animal tab, it allows you to manage your animals better, very good one. Colony Manager, same one, it allows you to automate certain colony functions. It's not something that just happens for free, so it's not overpowered, it's actually a workbench. Smart Speed, this allows you to do two things. It allows you to have slow speed, and it also allows you to have extreme fast speed. So Dubs Mint Menus, this is what makes menus a little bit more functional. Relations tab, but this one allows you to see the relations between characters. Medical tab, this allows you to set medical priorities per character and see how everyone is doing at a glance. The Work tab, this expands the Work tab So instead of it being 1 to 4, it goes 1 to 9. Rim HUD, this is what, when you see the bottom of the screen where you see all the stats of the characters and stuff like that, that's what this mod is doing. Smart farming, this one adds some functionality to grow plots. So it'll do stuff like you can turn it on so pawns won't reseed if the thing will not be able to grow before winter starts and kills the plant. Toggleable readouts, that is on the top corner here, you have all your different resources you have. This allows you to like turn some of them on and off and collapse down menus and stuff. Follow me. So this is the one whenever you see the camera, tracking the character, so where the character is moving and stuff like that. This is the mod that actually allows me to do that. So vanilla traits expanded, adds more traits to characters. Vanilla backstories expanded, adds more backstories to characters. Vanilla events expanded, this adds more events to the game. Events plus, same thing. Go explore, this adds events, but specific events that make it so you want to leave your settlement. Caravan adventures, same kind of thing. It adds events and stuff that'll make you want to leave your place. Biomes Island, so this was one of the biome things you saw earlier. This is the one that it adds islands to the game. Colony groups, this allows you to group colonists into different things. When we have 2, it doesn't really make many difference for stuff, but at some point when you I want all of my combat-based pawns in one group, or I want all of my people that are going to go travel to trade, you can make them into different groups. Pod name variety, so this triples the number of names you'll see for pawns, so it's ideology, icons, and symbols. This is a vanilla expanded. It allows, again, it adds icons and symbols to the ideology DLC. And then memes and structures, exact same thing. It adds memes and structures to the ideology DLC. Character editor, this is the one I used to edit the characters. I went and customized the characters, so one, I could have characters that would function in a world like this. Scattered stone, this is a visual mod. It adds scattered stones around rocks and stuff. Trading spot, this allows you to build a trading spot, so when traders come, they come to a specific spot and trade in that exact spot. So they're not just going to be in the middle of your base running through all your freezers and everything like that. You can actually say go specifically here. Cluttered structures, this adds, this does 2 things. One, it changes the texture of a lot of the walls. And it also adds in a bunch more floors and some extra new walls. Expanded prosthetics and organ engineering. This adds a bunch more prosthetics and organs and stuff that you can... this is the forked version as well, by the way, that you can then put into your characters. Aaron's mountain animals. Adds more animals to the game because I love animals in the game. I just think it's really fun. Halloween graves for Halloween parade. So it just adds a bunch of different variety of graves to the game rather than just being all one single type of grave. Dinosauria, probably one of my favorite mods. It's in my top 10 favorite mods. It adds dinosaurs. That's all it does. Megafauna. Megafauna adds a bunch of giant animals to the game. Also very cool. Not as cool as dinosaurs, but also just very cool. Vanilla expanded, vanilla animals expanded. This is the 1.4 specific one, so this is essentially all of the animals added together. So it adds 100 some odd different animals. A simple utility fridge. I didn't want to use Rim Fridge, so instead I got this guy, Dub's Rim Kit. This allows you to make medical kits that characters can walk around with. RT Solar Flare Shield. This allows you to build a little thing that can protect against solar flares, so your power doesn't go all out. It is balanced. It's not just a oh, you have this thing and then now you don't get solar flares. It consumes like a literal crazy amount of power. So. It's very cool. I've played with it in a bunch of other playthroughs I've done, and I just love it. Vanilla base generation expanded. This makes it so the bases that you will eventually be going to for raids and whatnot, it makes them bigger and more complex and stuff. And then a whole bunch of vanilla expanded stuff. So this is the core module, so it adds in a bunch of stuff. This is the architect module, so it adds in a bunch of different walls, a bunch of different floors, stuff like that. Medical furniture, so it adds in hospital beds, IV drips, a bunch of other stuff. Power module adds in a bunch of different types of power, so you have advanced or industrial generators and stuff. Production module, this makes it so there's a bunch of different larger production scale stuff, so you can have like an advanced cooking stove, so it works faster even. And then for weapons, I have vanilla weapons expanded. I have coil guns, because I've always found the coil guns to be a really fun weapon to play with in the game. I have weapons expanded in general, so this adds a bunch of different weapons. It kind of fills out the weapon tree that you generally wouldn't see in the vanilla game. And then tribal weapons, because I think it's cool to have just a bunch more different options for tribal. Windows! This adds windows to walls, so you can add windows. So it allows extra light in, so your pawns don't feel like they're always in the dark, and instead of you having to have a torch always running or have light always on, like lights turned on all the time. Doors expanded. This adds 1x2 doors and 1x3 doors. Bunch of hair mods, Rainbow's hair pack, AFU hair pack for women, Juan hair for men, Aaron's hairstyles redux, tattoo mods, tech tattoos, and tribal tattoos. Custom moat markers. These ones, so when you click on a pawn, there's a little pop-up that comes up beside them to show their current state. So that's what this is. So when you click on them, it'll put little things say like, are they happy right now? Are they not happy right now? Facial animation. So this allows whenever you see the characters like blink and make faces and stuff like that, this is what's doing that. This is the one that allows it to be, instead of it being like anime style, it has the traditional style. Various space chunks. So instead of there being 2 or 3 different space chunks, it adds in another 10 or something like that. So it's just more variety, spice of life really. Meat blend. So this was so before I started this specific series, I did a playthrough. I played however many hours of this exact setup just to see like, is this even possible or is this just going to be too hard? And one of the things that I kept running into is you would have like 5 meat of this one type, where you just have like random amounts of meats of different types of meats, and you couldn't use them up and they would go bad, and then you can't make food for the colony. So this essentially fixed that, where you can combine a bunch of different meats, any kind of meats, into meat blend. Dub's Bad Hygiene, also one of my top 10 favorite mods. This adds toilets, showers, plumbing, indoor heating, all kinds of fun stuff. So it makes your pawns need to poop and make sure they need to drink. Garden Fabrics, this is the VGP series, so VGP makes up a whole bunch of really cool stuff as well. This makes it so instead of you just like getting cloth from the plants that you'll grow, you now get actual cotton, and then you have to turn cotton into cloth as an extra step. Instead of making stuff arbitrarily difficult, I wanted to add in processes to make it more difficult. That was the objective of the mod list. And this is Vegetable Garden, so this just adds in a bunch of extra vegetables, a bunch of different things you can grow. Vanilla Plants Expanded, again, adds in a bunch more different things you can grow. This one and VGP Vegetable Garden, which is this last one, they play well together, which is why I'm running both of them. Whole Expanded, so this is one I have, so there's a vanilla or simple chain steel is one of the ones I'm running as well. So this means you get raw iron and you smelt it into steel, making things more difficult by adding a process in. This mod comes with a coal and a bunch of other production stuff, but it is recommended to use a mod that generates coal specific. So this adds a whole bunch of different coal, so you can use coal to fuel your stoves, you can use coal for that process. So that's why this exists. Biomes Prehistoric, again, one of my top favorite mods. This one makes it so every single biome in the entire game is also a prehistoric biome. So there's dinosaurs in all of them, there's different types of plants, and stuff like this. So it's very cool. That's why you will see dinosaurs running around everywhere. It's because the entire planet is a prehistoric planet. Seeds Please Light. So this is one that makes the game substantially more difficult, but it is really cool and fun at the same time. So essentially it makes it so you can't just grow crops, you need to get seeds for those crops, and trees. You need seeds to grow any plants, period. Simple Chains Leather. So again, this makes it so leather, instead of getting leather from animals, you get hides, and then you have to tan hides. Unfortunately, there is the dinosaur mods, so Dinosaur Area and Biomes Prehistoric. There is not a patch yet for them, so whenever I kill a dinosaur, mostly, that I just get dinosaur leather rather than hides. So, but it makes it so a lot of other leathers are gated behind this process. Simple Chains Steel. Again, I already explained this one. Turn iron into steel. And then Simple Chains Lumber. This makes it so instead of using just logs for everything, you have to turn logs into lumber. Detailed Bodies. So this is one to make it so everyone has a little bit more detailed bodies. I chose this one over, there's a couple other ones that are really good. I chose this one because there isn't nipples and vaginas and penises hanging off of everything. Vanilla's Textures Expanded. This just up-reses the textures, so when I do zoom in, they don't look pixelated or blurry. Research Reinvented. So this is another major change to the game. That is, it changes the way research happens in the game. So instead of research being strictly at the research bench, your pawns can go out and research different things. So for example, you're making pemmican, you can go and research berries and meats and stuff like this to gain research points. So it allows you to be able to do research in different places, in different ways, and you get an advantage for doing it with those things. At the same time, it also makes that doing research at the research bench is less effective. I think in this specific playthrough, I have it set at 50% as effective. And then the add-on for that one is Stepping Stones. So this one looks over the vanilla and all of the DLCs, and it rebuilds out the tech tree to make it so things are a little bit more stretched out, which is really cool. There's also a patch that you'll see coming up here as well that takes this one and it looks at all of the vanilla expanded stuff and it retailers it. So example being one of the weapons expanded is muskets. So there's like gunpowder is one of the research types. With this setup now, it makes it so you have to research gunpowder before you can actually research gun manufacturing, as an example. Simple sidearms. This is actually a quality of life D1 for me. Because everything is already way more difficult, it allows your pawns to hold a second weapon, technically. So you can have them have a gun, and you can also have them have a knife. Soil contrast. I use this because I find personally that the difference between like rich soil and crappy soil and regular soil is really hard, so I have this one to just add some contrast to the soil, so it's a little bit easier to see what's what. Graphic settings, again, this is another up-res one. It's for different things than the other graphics up. Vanilla textures expanded, again, another one. They're all these like graphics, like up-res graphic texture packs do different things, so that's why they're all here. This is a retexture for a bunch of mods, so this changes the textures in the mod packs to be a little bit more in line with what you actually see in the actual RimWorld. Caravan packs, this makes it so certain animals such as thrumbos and dogs can also be pack animals. They kind of go through and look at a bunch of animals. 23 animals are added to pack animals, so it's very, very helpful. Set up camp. This allows you to set up a camp while you're out on the road. Weight price. This shows the price versus weight, and just literally adds a column. Level up. So whenever someone levels up, there's a little ding that happens up in the top corner. Perspective trees. This is the one that when you see the pawns like walk behind trees, and it kind of adds that like layering effect. This is what's doing that. It just kind of changes the layers, because usually all of your colonists, all your pawns are on top of everything always. This makes it so that they are not. They walk behind stuff. Social interactions expanded. This just makes more social interactions that happen, and it expands on how that plays out. So this is, you see just more different things in the word bubbles. Romance on the rim. This changes how romance works. Interaction bubbles. This is the words you see underneath people when they are talking. Simple smoke effects. This adds smoke to certain things. Again, just an ambiance thing. Scattered fire. This makes it so fire looks a little bit more scattered out and doesn't look like it's on a grid, how it currently looks. Better records tab. This allows me to go and take a look at who's been doing what and where and why. It's just kind of a records thing. So this will eventually probably come up as a storytelling thing at some point. What's missing? So this allows me to look at what I want to build, and it'll say what am I missing to build said thing. Rangefinder. This allows me to, with the push of the control key, allows me to see how far all of my selected pawns can shoot. So it's really fast rather than having to click through all of them and look at their weapons. Dub's break mod. This one changes how mental breaks happen in the game. I wouldn't say that it is like game breaking or overpowered. It makes it a little bit more logical. Better workbench management. This allows you to rename your bills, so because when you have some things where you have 5 or 6 different bills going on, you can kind of see what's going on. It also allows you to do a bunch of other kind of linking stuff, so it's simple automation as well. Choose your recipe. This allows you to, if there are certain things that you are never ever going to craft, this allows you to take it out of the list when you want to click it to make something. Textile stats. This is a kind of a wiki, in-game wiki thing, so you can click on something and you can get all the stats on all of the different things. So like, what is the best fur? How good is the fur I have? This is important with a ton of different mods, especially when you have a lot of animals added, because all these animals may be dropping different kinds of furs and stuff, and you want to see how it stacks up against everything else. Rimpedia. This is a really cool mod. This is actually, I added it because it's cool, but it does give you a little bit of advantage. So it allows you to study plants and animals. As you study them, you can eventually, if you get to 100% on studying them, you actually get a 10% bonus when it comes to slaughtering them or harvesting them and so on and so forth, or milking. So it's kind of a neat thing. RPG style inventories. This allows you to see better laid out what the character has on them. I don't think I could play without this mod. Social interface. This allows you to see the interaction between two mods. It's like the other social one, but it's different. No job authors. Again, I don't know why this isn't in the base game. This one makes it so that whoever is working on something, anyone can pick it up and keep working on it. It's not locked to that person. Just because, again, we're in a resource-intensive game, and I just can't have someone go out and start making a weapon, and then that person die, and then all of a sudden I just lost all those resources. It would be impossible to play. Metal no burn, or no burn metal, aka steel, player steel, gold, silver, power conduits, and power switches no longer burn. Convert, then recruit. This allows you to, if you're planning on converting and then recruiting someone, it just does it all for you, instead of having to like eventually go back and update. Architect icons. This is what adds the icons to the menu on the side, and then this adds colorful ones to the next one. Color bar mood bar. This just adds colors to everyone's mood, so you can see, you know, at a glance, are they red, green, yellow, so on and so forth. Drag select. This is for trading, especially when you're trading a lot of different stuff. It allows you to just kind of click and drag down, just hit all of them as you go down. Auto strip on haul. So this is because we're playing a resource intensive mod pack. This allows you to, it'll automatically strip all the clothes off of anyone that you're hauling to the waste silage pile, just so you can then sell all those tainted clothes or deconstruct them. Undraft after tucking. So this allows you to, when you say, you know, rescue so-and-so or capture so-and-so, your pawn will take them to their bed, drop them off in their bed, and then immediately be undrafted so they can go keep doing it instead of you having to remember to go back and check them. Quality overlay. This allows you to see the quality of all the items when you have it overlaid, so you can look at what beds need to be replaced or what things should be up-resed or up things. Food poisoning stacks. So this is if you say one meal that was made or one set of meals was made had food poisoning. In vanilla RimWorld, if that type of food was made, gets added to a stack. So example, pemmican is a perfect example where if they made 20 pemmican that had food poisoning and they add it to a stack of 75 to like make a stack 75, all 75 of those pemmican will have food poisoning. It just fixes that. More planning. It adds different colors to planning, so it makes it a little bit easier for planning if you're trying to use colors. Extra alerts. It adds some alerts for things that generally don't come up. Yeah, I know, there's a lot of mods, right? I'm not even done. It's gonna be like a 30-minute video just for the mods. Ticks per second. This is just allows you to see how many ticks per second you're running. Replace stuff. This is when you're building, so you're building a different type of wall over top of a wall. It will replace the wall as it builds it. So rather than you having to like deconstruct that wall and then build a new wall over top of it, it'll just replace the wall once it builds. Common sense. This is what makes it so the pawns will clean up their work area before they work at it. They also do a bunch of other stuff, just kind of smart things. So it's instead of having someone like dedicated on cleaning, this will help everything stay clean. Share the load. This allows pawns to deliver resources to something that will be built, even if they are not going to be building it themselves. Pick up and haul. This is what allows pawns to pick up 5 or 6 or 7 different things, store them in their inventory, and then haul a whole bunch of stuff. So this just makes its hauling is more manageable. Rather than picking up a single item. While you're up, this allows pawns to, if they're going from point A to point B and there is a item that can be dropped off while they are going there, they will pick up said item and drop it off without you having to say, hey, pick up that item. Smarter construction. It fixes how they build. It makes it so they don't get trapped inside of walls or that empty wall spaces get left behind. It fixes all of that. Cleaner pathfinding. This makes it so pawns will want to take a cleaner path every single time. So this is a little bit intensive when it comes to your processor, but it makes it so they generally are faster. The animation, so when you see that my pawns are walking around and having animated and they're animating doing stuff, this is the animation mod that does that. It's very cool. Completely clueless. This removes all of my research. Simple chains patches. So this patches all of the simple chain stuff and adds a bunch of other patches. This is a bunch more. I'm just gonna skip over the patches. So patches. This is a error thing, so if I get into errors, I can check what it is. What the mod. This is something, if you're going to be doing a large mod list, you need to play with this because it allows you, every single thing you click on will tell you what it is part of, whether it's part of a mod, whether it's part of a DLC, or whether it's part of the vanilla. This is the patches for the vanilla expanded stuff, for royalty net, patches for smoke. Performance optimizer, this cleans up a bunch of performance stuff and makes things run faster, and then Rocket Man, which also does the exact same thing. Whew, that's all of the mods. That's all of the mods that we are running in this entire game. So if you want to follow along, that's the mod list right there. Well, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. So if you want to actually go watch the series now, there will be a link card right now.